Alright, so in the previous video we were discussing about solving of the quadratic equations by factoring. Now today we'll discuss about solving of the quadratic equations by completing the squares. So today we'll do completing the squares. So whenever you want to calculate, whenever you want to solve the quadratic equations by completing the squares, you have to keep one thing, very clear, that the coefficient of x square should be always 1. So here it is 1. So coefficient of x square should be always 1. If in a question you're having the coefficient of x square other than 1, for example, you're having 2x square minus 4x plus 8 is equal to 0. So what you will do is you will take 2 as common. You will take 2 as common and you will put in x square, because 2 times x square will be 2x square, and then minus 2x, because 2 times negative 2x will be negative 4x, and plus 4 equals 0. And then when you will divide by 2 to both sides, what will happen? 2 and 2 will cancel out. It will become x squared minus 2x plus 4 equals 0 divided by 2, and that's 0. So you are getting the new quadratic equation in which the coefficient of x squared is 1. Now you can use completing the squares method. So we'll do completing the squares in our previous question, which we have written already. So you're having x squared minus 18x plus 81 equals 0. So the procedure for calculating, for doing completing the squares method is you'll simply write x squared as it is, and then you will write negative 18x as it is, and then you have to add something, right, and then subtract something, and then plus 81 as it is equals 0. So what we have to add and what we have to subtract, we have to add and subtract the same thing, so that when that will be cancelled out, you will get the question back. So you have to add and subtract the same thing, right? So that when that will be written here, for example, you're adding 2 and you're subtracting 2, that will not affect my previous equation, so that will be cancelled out again and you will get back the question, right? But we have to introduce some number so that we will be able to convert this into a perfect square. So let us see how to do it. What we are going to add and what we're going to subtract depends on the coefficient of x, right? Whether it is negative or positive, it doesn't matter. You take the number 18 here, and then you divide it with 2, right? Dividing the number, whatever the number is relative with x, the coefficient of x, you will take that number and you will divide it with 2, so it becomes 9, right? So when this will become 9, you have to add 9 and you have to subtract 9. But not only 9, the square of the 9. Understand this thing. So what I will do is this 18 divided by 2, coefficient of x divided by 2 becomes 9, and then square it, and then subtract 9 and then square it. That's it. So what you're going to do is you are simply adding and subtracting half of the coefficient of x squared, right? You're adding and subtracting half of the coefficient of x squared. So first three terms will become the formula. Every time they'll become the formula. So you'll have x squared minus 18x plus 9 squared. So it is simply a it's simply a square plus b square minus 2ab. You can write it, you can see it here. It's a square minus 2 times 9 times x, that is 18x, right, plus 9 squared. So you can write it as a square minus 2ab plus b square, that is a minus b whole square, right? So a minus b, so x minus 9 whole squared. And then you'll write all the things which are on the right side of this perfect square. You'll write negative 9 squared plus 81 equals 0. So you'll have x minus 9 whole squared is minus 9 squared is 81 plus 81 equals 0. So negative 81 positive 81 will be cancel out. So you'll get x minus 9 whole squared means x minus 9 is multiplied 2 times, right? X minus 9 times x minus 9 equals 0. So you're getting the repeated roots, right? So if x minus 9 times x minus 9 is 0, then we can say x minus 9 is 0, or x minus 9 is 0. So x is 9, x is 9. So this is the way of calculating the roots of the quadratic equation by completing the squares. So what we did, we have to add and subtract half of the coefficient of x squared, right? We have to add and subtract half of the coefficient of x squared, and if you're having the coefficient of x squared as other than 1, you have to make that first 1, right? And you will get the formula. You'll get the formula either a plus b whole squared or a minus b whole squared, and that's it. Then you'll be able to solve it and you will get the roots of the quadratic equation. So that's it for today.